Like, I don't remember buying this at all, so I'm glad that, like, NyQuil, a sleep version of me, at least bought, like, the good version. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So today, we're gonna be unboxing some dolls. I'll probably do a couple different unboxing videos. I got a ton of dolls here to unbox, and I've created a problem for myself. So time to unbox all these dolls. Like, they have to be unboxed now. So today what we're gonna do is get this Ever After High collector doll out of the like packaging. Like, I'm not gonna completely unbox her, but I am going to get her out of this. So this is a doll I purchased when I had COVID, and it was in like a NyQuil haze. I don't remember buying it, and it was not cheap. So I accidentally bought this on eBay. I only found out about it when it arrived, and then I looked at my eBay listings and I was like, I did buy that apparently. So supposedly what this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2015 Raven Queen Ever After High doll. So hopefully that's what's inside of this box. I'm assuming it is, because I've never seen Ever After High packaging quite like this, but also I've seen people unbox this and I don't remember this like outer shell. So we're gonna get into it. Like I said, I'm probably gonna take the doll all the way out of the box. We'll see what the packaging looks like. I'll probably keep her in like the display box. It really depends on what this box looks like. I remember this box being kind of cool. So let's get her out of here. How am I supposed to open this? Why is this so complicated? That like locks together. I don't really want to destroy this outer box because like it is interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, this is what I thought it was gonna be. Great. So here she is out of the like weird mystery packaging. So this is the doll that I thought it was going to be. So this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Raven Queen doll. And then on the front it says Raven Queen, daughter of the Evil Queen. The packaging itself is quite cool. It's supposed to be like the magic mirror. So a little context for like me as a doll collector. I've collected dolls on and off my entire life, but Generation 1 Monster High and Ever After High came out around the time I was graduating high school. And at that time I wasn't like super collecting dolls, and I was starting college. I just wasn't like as into it at that time. And what I was collecting was more like horror kind of dolls, Living Dead dolls, those kinds of things. So I kind of completely missed Gen 1 Monster High and Ever After High. By the time I was getting back into doll collecting, it was around like the downfall of Monster High. So I actually personally had never bought any like Gen 1 Monster High or Ever After High dolls. But like later on as an adult, I had gone and watched Ever After High because it had been recommended to me, because I really like queer media, and I occasionally will watch like a queer cartoon and things like that. So I did watch this, especially because I knew it was doll related. So ever since I watched Ever After High, I wanted to buy Ever After High dolls, but I just couldn't justify the prices. They go for pretty crazy prices on eBay, usually. So this packaging is nuts. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this, because I am gonna have to take this front piece off. But before we get into that, I just want to look at the package as it is right now. So it has this like cool little front cardboard piece that is like a beautiful rendering of the doll, or I guess of just her face. And then the back is more so the rendering, I believe, of the doll itself. And there's all kinds of text here. At the bottom, it lists doll designer, writer, character artist, packaging designer, packaging engineer, illustrationist, or illustrations. And that's really cool, actually. I've never seen like credits like that on the back of the doll. That's quite cool, especially for a collector's doll. And then so the back of the packaging is like sort of the story. So just a little background on this collection of dolls from the San Diego Comic-Con. It was based on like the concept of the characters kind of succumbing to their greatest nightmares. And if you're not familiar with Ever After High, Raven Queen's one of her biggest like tropes is that she's terrified of becoming her mother. And so of course, and she's the daughter of the evil queen, what would that mean but her being the evil queen trapped in a mirror? So it's quite a cool concept for a doll line. There were others from this run, I believe. I believe they did Cerise Wolf. I don't remember what the doll for her looked like. I have like a vague imaging of the package. Maybe if I can find an image, I'll like put it right here. And then there was also Pinocchio's daughter. I cannot remember that character's name, but hers was really cool because it's of course her like becoming like a puppet. That one is very expensive. This was actually, for some reason, this one's like one of the cheapest ones, which is funny because Raven Queen's like the main character of the whole show. So you would think this would have been one of the more expensive ones, but I will say those other two dolls were quite cool as well. I can't remember what Cerise's looked like, which is actually going to bother me, but I'll look it up later. So the back of the package says, once upon a time, Raven Queen's mother, the evil queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, dared to go beyond her story. She invaded fairy tale after fairy tale, intending to rule them all under her wicked boot heel. Eventually, she was defeated and imprisoned inside of the very magic mirror she once treasured so much. However, there are two sides to every story. Even though the kind-hearted Raven didn't want to follow in her villainous mother's footsteps, she always wondered if she was told the whole truth. If Raven ever did accept her destiny, perhaps she might find answers she's been looking for on the other side of the looking glass. Let's take this cover off. How do I do it? Okay, cool. So the cover just kind of like lifts right off, which means I get to keep it. And there's the doll. Let's have a look at her. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, great. She's just as great as I thought she was gonna be. So this particular doll, I know she was done, they like redid her. You know, part of the reason this one might have been cheaper than the other two is because they did redo this doll as more of like a larger scale release. And in the larger scale release, the feather piece on her headdress, or her, I don't know what this is, it's like a collar piece or whatever. The feather piece was made out of plastic. And I think there were some other like downgrades to the outfit itself. So I have almost bought that version of the doll in the past, but she's also like not that cheap. So I'm kind of glad that since I bought this in a completely, like I don't remember buying this at all. So I'm glad that like NyQuil Asleep version of me at least bought like the good version because she wasn't that much more expensive, I don't think. I mean, I hadn't checked the eBay prices on these in a long time and I don't really remember buying this at all. I did see from the listing that I bought, she was like $150. But to be completely honest, for a collector doll from like, this is like almost like 8 years ago. So we're like going on, pushing a decade ago, this collector doll came out from San Diego Comic-Con nonetheless. For $150, actually not bad. I'm actually not mad about that price. That's like the price of like, if you just buy like a regular Silkstone Barbie from Mattel nowadays. So honestly, not bad at all. She's quite, I don't know how I feel about the packaging. I know I was like, oh, the packaging's so cool, but it is a little bulky and weird. I like the idea of the packaging. I think that personally, this kind of like packaging where it's like a piece of cardboard and then just like a big piece of blown plastic on top of it, it always feels a little cheap to me, even though this is a collector doll and it is kind of like a cool shaped plastic. It's still just not my favorite presentation of a doll. I'd rather have like the boxes Mattel does nowadays where it's like a big box. She also isn't like balanced very well, so I'm gonna have to like press her up against something so she doesn't fall over. But let's take a look at the detail of the doll. She looks great. She has like the classic sort of like round, like super round Ever After High doll face. Her actual dress itself is quite gorgeous. It's very glittery and it's kind of that time of like Monster High and Ever After High where they were still actually using like nice fabric. Yeah, she looks really good. She has some interesting like plasticky pieces. So the piece around her collar, I actually quite like, and it has some painted details on it as well, which is actually really nice. I think a lot of times when Mattel does these kinds of like plastic pieces, they don't always paint them, which is really annoying. I will say though, she has this like, speaking of they don't always paint them, you can see that she has this like plastic chain around her hand that they didn't paint, which is kind of a weird contrast because they did paint that piece. So it's a little thing. You're only going to notice it if you look at the doll really close, but I'm just noticing it right now. Otherwise, though, it's very cool. It's a very cool design. It's kind of your classic like mermaid dress, but I like that they did this sort of like raven feather details for her. It's just very cute. I like it a lot. I also appreciate the apple. The way the apple's displayed in the box is a little weird though. So the apple is quite literally a skull. Like it's like a molded skull. There's so much glare on this plastic box. It's like a molded skull, if you can kind of see that. But the way they have it positioned in the box, it's so hard to tell. Like she's just kind of holding it like a ball, but that's whatever. The feathers look quite cool. I'm not usually a huge fan of like feathers on a doll. I don't hate this because it's a collector's doll. I definitely prefer it to like the plasticky version of the headdress they did in the larger scale release, but I'm just not a huge fan of like feathers being used in dolls in general. Yeah, I just noticed the detail of the bottom. It says daughter of the evil queen, but daughter of is scratched out because of course this is Raven Queen as the evil queen. It's a really cool concept for a doll. I really like it. Personally, I don't know if I'm gonna buy any more Ever After High dolls. I don't know. The fact that they are just so expensive on, like, to get the good ones, the ones that everybody wants, the cool ones, the ones that were high quality, like the early releases of Ever After High, they're kind of expensive. There's always something about each, like I'll look at a doll and I'll be like, oh, I should buy her. And it's like, it's either the price or the packaging or whatever. I don't know. But I am glad that I finally have an Ever After High doll in my collection. It's been a long time coming. I mean, I've been collecting dolls. I've been back into collecting dolls for like years now, and Ever After High was one of the ones, it was one of the ones that I was always like, I really should get at least one of them. Like as a doll collector, it's like, I know they're a really well-known brand. They're a very beloved doll line that everybody pretty much agrees kind of was ended too soon. So what I would like to see in the future from Mattel is I would at least like to see sort of like if they give them like the Haute Couture treatment. Like I would love some like more collector dolls from Ever After High. There's no reason that they can't reboot the series, even if it's just for collector dolls, kind of like they did with Bratz, like kind of what Bratz is right now, where Bratz is just kind of like a lot of like brand collaborations. Like Mattel could do a similar thing with Ever After High. I don't know if it would make a lot of sense to do brand collaborations, but even if they just brought them up for like your occasional collector's edition release, kind of like they're doing with the collector dolls with Monster High and the G1 reproductions and the G1, you know, Haute Couture dolls, which I liked the Haute Couture dolls a lot. As somebody who missed Monster High and Ever After High completely, it was nice that they reintroduced the brand with some collector dolls, because I think a lot of the people who are interested in these kinds of old canceled doll lines are adult collectors. And whether or not they decide to reboot the play line of Ever After High is kind of like, to me, I guess I just don't really care that much. It would be cool if they got the full treatment and we got like play line, collector dolls, all that stuff. But it would be nice if we could at least get some new collector Ever After High dolls. I like the show a lot. I think it's a great intellectual property that's completely underutilized. The doll is just so beautiful too. Like the more I look at her, the more I'm just like, ooh, I could use more of these in my collection. But also, like, I'm not willing to pay the like $600 for the collector dolls, the collector Ever After High dolls that are going on eBay right now. I honestly wasn't even really willing to pay $150 for this, but like apparently a sleep buying me was, so that's cool. But she was worth it. I have no like regrets. I'm not mad at myself for buying this. I will not be like, I thought to myself like, oh, well, if I don't like her, I can just resell her. But yeah, I won't be reselling her. I will definitely be keeping this doll in my collection. She also fits perfectly into I have a big Disney villain doll collection. So she fits perfectly with that. So yeah, even if I have no other Ever After High dolls and they never reboot them or any of that stuff, she's still kind of like, she makes sense. Sorry, the front was dusty. I'm assuming that this, even though it came in the blind packaging, I'm assuming this was a part of somebody's collection and they actually like had her displayed because the front of it's a little dusty. So I'm assuming they just saved all the packaging and then they just like, when they decided to sell it, they put it back together. I don't know who I bought this from. I didn't look into the seller at all because obviously I was asleep when I bought this. So I assumed when I got it, it was coming from like a store or something. Cause sometimes you know how like smaller toy stores will have some of these sort of older collector dolls and they'll sell them. But like, now that I'm seeing the dust on the doll itself, I'm assuming she was displayed in somebody's collection and they just got tired of her or something. I'm not sure. But I love her. I love her. I think she's great. Oh, and I just realized one thing that's cool about the packaging, the shadowing, I thought that was real, but that shadowing is actually printed onto the packaging. The shadow of the doll, that's quite cool. Because it does give her a little bit more depth. It really makes her pop a little bit more on this sort of like blank mirror background. Okay, so great. I'm glad I unboxed her. I'm glad I got what I actually ordered. This is great. I'm so happy about her. Where am I gonna put her? That's a whole nother problem. I'm really running out of space for dolls, and because I've been buying a lot more of these kinds of collector dolls, I've been keeping a lot of these kinds of dolls in the box, and in box collecting takes up so much space. Like, holy shit. Maybe I can make space for her on my Barbie shelf. I think this box is taller than a normal box, so I might even have to find like a taller shelf to put her on. It's fine, we'll find somewhere to put her. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, please like, comment, subscribe. I will be making more like actual unboxing. I know I was like, I'm gonna unbox her, and then I kind of just like took her out and showed her to you. I will actually be unboxing a lot more videos, so definitely subscribe if you want to see more unboxing content. I also have a bunch of other doll videos planned with my collection, different things I want to talk about. But I've got to get through this like backlog of dolls that I need to unbox because I bought way too many dolls recently. So we're gonna go through that first. And then I will probably get more into some of the other things I want to talk about with my doll collection. And definitely comment down below if you do have more of these dolls. What I really want to know, please comment down below if there are any Ever After High dolls you think I should look for, like of the older ones. Please let me know like which, because I know Ever After High was kind of like a divisive line that had a lot of quality issues as the line continued. And I know a lot of people have like, this is the point where the line went bad. So please, if you know, comment down below, are there any other dolls that are high quality that I should be looking for in this, not necessarily the collector line, but just like in general? I really want an Applewhite doll. Raven Queen, of course, is a great character, but I think Applewhite's probably my favorite. I like Applewhite and Raven Queen. I really wanted to have one of each at least. So now that I finally have a Raven Queen doll, I want an Applewhite doll even more. So please let me know what would be like a good Applewhite doll to buy that's like decent quality. And maybe I'll look into that more and see if there's one worth buying. Well, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.